Hey everyone, and welcome to season 3 of Pokemon Productions, and Happy New Year to you all. I'm going to be kicking off 2022 with a movie review, a movie that I actually went to see with my brother and my dad yesterday, and I can safely say I was really looking forward to it. Today, my first ever review of 2022 is going to be Spider-Man No Way Home, the most recent Spider-Man movie from the MCU. And just to let you know, I will be revealing some major plot points throughout this review, so if any of you haven't seen it yet, please stop watching now and come back when you've seen the film. This is your spoiler warning. So, we start off, so the movie basically starts off exactly where Spider-Man Far From Home left off, with Mysterio dead, and Spider-Man's true identity as Peter Parker is now revealed to the world, giving him all sorts of hate and backlash by J. Jonah Jameson and everyone else in his life. And soon it starts affecting his school life as well, so he eventually goes to Dr. Stephen Strange, who asks him to cast a spell to make everyone forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Like, make everyone forget that he was Spider-Man. And when Strange keeps on casting the spell, Peter keeps on interrupting and tells him to leave out his girlfriend MJ, his best friend Ned, his Aunt May, and his Aunt May's girlfriend Happy Hogan. But unfortunately, that spell went wrong because of all the constant interruptions and broke the walls of reality, bringing in different Spider-Man villains from across the multiverse. So, Dr. Octopus, Green Goblin, and Sandman from the Tobey Maguire films, and the Lizard and Electro from the Amazing Spider-Man films, all arrived in the MCU and were instantly a threat. So Peter managed to deal with them, and they were trapped and captured them. And it turns out that because the spell went wrong, the walls of reality broke around them and brought them all to their universe. And and there is the fact that they would actually die in their respective universes, but Peter didn't want that to happen, so he thinks about curing them. And it works with Dr. Octopus, but Green Goblin doesn't want to be cured, and neither does Electro. So Electro steals an arc reactor from Stark Industries and gains more power, while Green Goblin just goes on a rampage across the building. And during the ensuing battle with Goblin, Peter's Aunt May is killed in the process. And it devastates him. And he sets about vengeance against Norman for her death. That is, until Ned, with the help of Doctor Strange's ring-like thing, creates a portal and summons 2 other Spider-Men. Specifically, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Men from the Sam Raimi films and the Andrew Garfield Spider-Men from the Amazing Spider-Man films. And it was fantastic seeing 2 other versions of Spider-Man from live-action films coming together with the MCU Peter Parker, played by Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, a trio of Spider-Men together. So basically, they have a big fight on the Statue of Liberty with all the villains that they hadn't cured, and Electro's energy is dissipated. Kirk Connors is reverted back to human. Sandman is given his human form back, and during the final battle, Peter, the MCU Peter, almost kills Norman, but the Sam Raimi version of Spider-Man stops him before he can go down a dark path, and Norman is then cured of his insanity. But then the walls of reality begin to crack around, and the universe starts to collapse in on itself. And then Strange is casting another spell, and Peter asks him to cast a spell. Everybody forgot that Spider-Man was Peter Parker. Like, everybody would forget who Peter Parker was. But Strange warned him that meant everybody, literally everybody, even Ned and MJ. But Spidey let it happen. And everyone in the entire world forgot about Peter Parker. And that part of the movie, it nearly got me, it nearly had the waterworks running for me. It was such an emotional part of the film, and I just couldn't, I was barely able to contain myself. But I did. And hopefully, Peter's relationships with Ned and MJ will start from the ground up. So all in all, Spider-Man No Way Home was an amazing movie, and I highly recommend you guys watching it if you've seen Homecoming and Far From Home. I guarantee you will probably get pretty emotional come the end. And Tom Holland once again shone in the role of Spider-Man, but along with veterans Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, I just loved it. I just loved it so much. And I fully recommend that you go see this movie. It's fantastic. It's bombastic. It's the ultimate Spider-Man crossover. And I just loved it. So thank you all for joining me for my very first video of 2022. And hopefully you'll join me for my next video. So see you next time, everyone, and Happy New Year.